So I think it's been probably at least a couple months since we planted our hay field this year. So we had taken a 3-acre field and we planted it in hay this year. And to get to it, for us to get to it, um, we have to cross the dam on our pond, and we have to go through this little opening in the woods back there. And this is our back corner of our property, and that's where we planted that 3-acre hay field. When we were planting that hayfield, we planted it with a seed drill. We also used a seed drill to plant around our house because we just finished building our house a year ago and we couldn't get grass to grow around the house very well. So this section right here, you can see this section. This is one section that we planted with that seed drill. The reason we had to, this is kind of farther away from the house. So the reason we had to plant this with the seed drill is because when they were doing the dirt work around the house, this section here next to the pond was so steep that you really couldn't mow on it with a lawnmower. It wanted to roll your lawnmower. It was too steep of a grade. So while they were doing the dirt work on the house, I had them knock this hill down, kind of bring it back a little farther. So now it's at an angle where we can actually get on it with a tractor or a mower and be able to mow it. But it wasn't growing grass, so we planted it with the seed drill as well. Now you can see it's slowly filling in with grass. It's still splotchy. It almost has like little lines. You can kind of see the lines where the seed drill went across and planted the grass seeds. So we kind of went over this a couple times. This actually looks worse than the hayfield, I think. The reason being is because it is on a slope. We've got a ton of rain this spring and the beginning of summer, and it has tried to wash this away. I do have some erosion that has happened here. So as I get a little closer, you're going to be able to see what I'm dealing with. So right here, I think you can see how it is eroding the side, and we end up with spots where it's trying to erode. So I think just with the amount of rain and it trying to wash this hillside away, that's why this doesn't look as well as the hayfield does. So the hayfield looks a lot better than that. So let's go ahead and head back to the back corner of the property and see the hayfield. So this opening here in the woods here to get to this hayfield, it is just wide enough for the tractor and the seed drill to make it through without hitting anything. And so I can still I have to keep that clean and brushed to be able to get the tractor back here. Oh look, there's a turkey. Can you see that? He's just going in the woods. I just scared a turkey out. At least the turkeys like it. So here is our 3-acre hayfield. So it's looking pretty good when you look at it from the side, but we'll walk around. There may be some spots that don't look as well as others. So at first glance, the hayfield actually looks pretty good. It's still a little sparse. You got to kind of get down here and look straight down, but it's still kind of sparse. It's not real thick. You still see a ton of dirt down here. So it's slowly starting to fill in. And so right now, you look at some of this grass. Some of this grass is getting almost up to the top of my knee, but it's pretty uneven right now. You know, you've got a lot of short stuff. We've got some taller stuff, and as you look through here, I planted a grass alfalfa mixture. So it had orchard grass in it, it had timothy grass in it, and it also had alfalfa. So now I'm standing probably just a little bit closer to the center of the field. And this is probably my worst spot. So let me kind of stand over here. This is pretty sparse. There is some alfalfa mixed in here, but some of this alfalfa is only like 4 inches tall. And there's just not very much tall grass. It's just all a little short grass, and it's really sparse. So you look down here. I don't know if you can see it, but this whole area kind of through here, this whole area, probably like a 40-foot area at least in here, 40 or 60-foot area in here, that did not grow very well. So this is more in the center. When this first started growing up, the outsides actually looked like they were going to come in the best. And the reason that being is I think I had so much trouble with that no-till drill, that seed drill, that I went over the outside actually probably more than any other place. So it probably got tilled a little bit more. It also I may have ended up putting more seed on the outside of the field than I did the inside. So as you walk kind of through, and this is kind of a sparse area right here, but as I walk through the center of this, you're gonna, I mean, we're gonna see that there's locations that's just very thin. So I'm not sure what type of grass this tall grass is. Maybe I should know my grasses better. I'm just learning. I did a lot of reading, trying to figure out what type of grass mixture I wanted to use. And I'm gonna guess, since this looks like a bunching grass, I'm gonna guess these taller ones are the orchard grass. So I'm gonna guess that these shorter grasses down here is probably the Timothy grass, and then we got, we do have a little bit, I mean, there's a little bit of alfalfa mixed in here in this shorter grass. I'm gonna say that's probably the Timothy, and the, you know, the alfalfa are real short, and our orchard grass seems to be the one that's coming up real tall right now. It's actually a pretty stemmy little grass, actually. It makes like a nice little bunch, and it all kind of branches out from it. So I'm gonna guess that's the orchard grass. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments below. But as I walk through here, I see some of this alfalfa, and it's looking kind of pale. It's looking kind of yellow, like it needs nitrogen. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but there's some alfalfa here, and the leaves are kind of yellow. And there's alfalfa through here, but a lot of this middle area, I see more alfalfa in the middle area, and maybe that's just because the grass isn't as thick, but I see more alfalfa in the middle, but it's all short. You know, it's not doing very good. So this is my plan for today, is I'm going to mow all of this down with a brush hog. I'm gonna go through here, I'm gonna mow this down. And you're gonna ask me, why am I gonna do that? So I'm doing that because the guy I bought the seed off of, he told me to do that. He said, every time you cut this, it'll help kind of strengthen the roots. It'll strengthen the roots of the plant. It'll also knock down any of the weeds that we have in here. So it should help reduce any weeds that may still be remaining in the field. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a brush hog, and I'm going to mow this down. I'm going to let the grass material just kind of fall back down and recompost into the ground. I'm not going to try to bale this. If I did bale it, I think it'd be, I mean, it's pretty sparse. I think I'm going to wait until this is more of a healthier, thicker field before I bale it. So that's the plan. Now I could use a sickle bar mower and get it out and practice with the sickle bar mower and mess with it, but I think since I haven't used it yet, I think it's missing a tooth, so I'd have to take it apart, fix the tooth. I think I just end up messing with the sickle bar all day, and I wouldn't get any mowing done. So, so I'm just going to use a brush hog mower. So after I get done bush hogging the mower, I think I'm going to go ahead and fertilize this field. I'm seeing some signs of some yellow leaves and some different things where I just kind of feel like maybe there isn't enough nutrients in the soil. So I think I will go ahead and fertilize this year. Now how I'm going to do that is, I think I'm going to do it with just a four-wheeler and one of those fertilizer grass seed spreader deals that fit on the back of a four-wheeler. At least that's what I think I'm going to do. So my dad actually has one, and I'm going to see if I can borrow that from him, and I'm just going to use a four-wheeler and a spreader basically, and I'm going to go over this and try to fertilize the field, add a little bit of nutrients into the field, maybe help this along. So that's the plan. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to bush hog this down. We're going to knock it all down to the same level. Then we're going to fertilize the field. Hopefully, you know, in a month or two, this will grow back up, and hopefully I can get one cutting on this field and turn that into hay. And then after that, then I will probably reseed this field again. I will probably reseed it a little heavier in alfalfa, and maybe only alfalfa, and just try to fill this in. But let's go ahead and let's go get out the tractor and start mowing this down. what I've cut so far actually looks pretty good. There's definitely a difference in areas. So some of the areas over here is like almost like a carpet. It's definitely filled in well. And then I go through other areas, I can tell it's not quite as not quite as grassy. So I think it's kind of a tough one. I think that you could have possibly maybe baled this. I think it's a little early, but there's definitely some areas that it came in strong enough. I probably could have actually baled some of this, but I'm gonna go on the conservative side. We'll just knock it down, and hopefully I need more time to get all my baling equipment ready, and hopefully I'll be able to do that over the next couple months, and when this grows back I'll actually finally be able to come out here and bale this. But I am just not prepared to bale it right now, and some spots just ain't as good, but there is definitely some spots in this field that is very thick and lush, and I probably actually could have baled certain areas of this field. But anyway, next time it grows back, that's when we'll bale it. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to mow this down. This is sparse. This is like carpet. This is like really thick. It's filled in. So when you look at this, I mean, it's a difference in night and day. And you look, this is all nice, thick grass right here. So this is nice. This is what we want. This is what I wanted. So this on the outer edges is definitely filled in. It may not have the alfalfa in here that I was really hoping for, but it's definitely dense grass. It definitely has enough grass here to be able to, bale, or, that it will eventually have enough grass here to bale. So I'm happy with I'm pretty happy with the outer edge, except that I wish I had more alfalfa in it. So down in the bottom of this fertilizer spreader, there is a little disc that kind of opens up to let the fertilizer down and through. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of adjust this opening a little bit so the fertilizer goes through, and hope that I'm adjusting it correctly. There's not a lot of science, I don't think, in this, because a lot of this has to do with how fast you go, and then also combined with how much fertilizer is flowing through here as well. So I think it's a little bit of trial and error, so hopefully I get it right. Well, I don't know if I was actually supposed to put that much in there, but that's 120 pounds worth of fertilizer. I did get at least the 200 pounds of the 10-10-10 that I just purchased tonight. I did get that spread on the center of the field, so I just didn't kind of get the outside edges of the field, but the center is where most of my problem is. It's where my grass is thinner. So now it's just time to wait. I'm just going to have to wait and come back here when the grass is ready to be cut again, and hopefully everything's a lot thicker. Hopefully I'll be able to cut it next time and maybe get some hay that I can actually bale. So we'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this kind of videos, hit the subscribe button, and like always, I'll see you guys in the next video.